Some of you have been born into a family who's not going to help you. And the sooner you figure that out and make adjustments, the better your life is going to become. And let me put this into example for you. I was born into a family that had no intentions of allowing me to grow and leave the family to become my own person.
As my child, you can come home whenever you want to. I'm never going to charge my child a place to stay because that's my child. I chose to have you. You didn't ask to be here. And most of our people just continuously force our children to pay bills. Hell, we won't have for your check. That is manipulation. If I want to help, if I'm helping you, how could I help you by taking from you? If you're constantly trying to save, but I'm constantly forcing you to give me half of what you're saving, how am I actually helping you?
What's good, Joe? Your boy back again. Yo, see what time it is. Now, before I get started, let me just say this. I already know that this is not every black parent. And even with the parents who do move like this, it doesn't always mean that they're all bad or that you hate them or anything like that. I'm just calling it like I see it. But when you speak on black parents or black women, people will say things like, what's your point? Or why are you talking about this? The same reason you talk about anything that you talk about, because you think it's true, because you think people can relate, or because you think people haven't noticed it yet. I'm not saying you should sit around and wait for help and wait for somebody to come solve all your problems, but a lot of the things that we try to normalize in the black community is why so many people are behind. This is why so many black people don't get their life together or have anything going for themselves until they're in their mid or late 30s, when they should have a decent life by the time they're in their mid or late 20s. But the reason why it's like that, because in the black community, it's normal to give your kids the bare minimum. And then when they struggle as an adult, you tell them to just figure it out like everybody else. Let me know what y'all think about that. And like I said, whenever you speak on this, there will be people who know that you make sense, but they'll still have the same response as everybody else because they don't want you to get the help you need. Because what do they always say? Misery loves company. And now that I got that out the way, let's get to this clip right here.
Some of you have been born into a family who's not going to help you. And the sooner you figure that out and make adjustments, the better your life is going to become. And let me put this into example for you. I was born into a family that had no intentions of allowing me to grow and leave the family to become my own person. They wanted me to stay within the family to fix their problems. So what I mean by this is you have grown adults that are 30, 40 years old that bring kids into the world to fix their own problems instead of nurture them to become better people. I'm just telling you for how it is. And you'll notice because of the actions. They won't help you get a job. They won't help you get a car. They won't help you develop. They'll do whatever they can to make sure that you stay in the house, you stay out of people's business, and you stay ensconced within their business. And they'll manipulate you in any way, shape, or form they can. Because anytime you talk about doing something bigger than the family or growing, they will immediately diminish your idea. And some of you can't comprehend this because you're born into a family where people actually help you. But I want you to understand, there are families in this world where people are hell-bent on making sure you stay as their little maid. And some of y'all figure that out.
They said you can't even call black parents when you have a problem because they can focus more on the fact that you even have the problem instead of helping you solve the problem. Let's talk about it. Most parents of this generation don't understand that their children aren't coming to them with life problems and don't depend on them for emotional support during the roughest times of their life because they are more so frustrated with the fact that you're going to fuss and yell at them than to provide comfort first, information second, and then direction last. The first mistake is raising your children to know so much about a life that's supposed to be hard and then leaving them stranded and hanging in the life that you told them would be hard, as if you provided them with all the necessary resources and things to defeat a hard life. So parents, if you're that type of parent, always remember that those silent cries produce bold-faced lies. So when you ask them, are they okay? They're going to tell you yes. In the midst of the biggest no of their life. They said you can't even call.
See, how they'll get you is they'll do little things here and there so you can't say that they haven't helped you. Like, they might let you come back home and stay with them or let you use one of their cars or something like that. But that's only if you let them control your whole damn life. If you try to set any boundaries, then they will try to stop giving a little bit of help that they were giving you. And if you ask for anything else, then they will just make it seem like you're being ungrateful. They won't do anything that's going to put you in a position to win or in a position to actually not need their help anymore. And if you have a problem with it, then you already know they just gonna say you ungrateful, you disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. But it's not disrespectful, it's logical. Why not give your kid the help that they need? Then they'll do this even if they see you have a plan, even if they see that you're responsible, they see you have goals and ambition, they'll still play these same games. They'll just keep on moving the goalposts. And then once you get frustrated, that'll be their excuse for not helping. Now it's, oh, well, if you got an attitude, then don't ask for my help then. It's going to be something along those lines. But a lot of black people think this is how it's supposed to go because it's what they heard their whole life. But how does it make sense to watch your kids struggle? If you know that you didn't do what you were supposed to do during those first 18 years, how does it make sense to do the bare minimum and say, well, I helped you. You should be good. You should be good with what I did. That's like if you went to your mama house or you got a roommate and you see the whole house is dirty and you say, you know what, all I'm going to do is clean the dishes. That's all I'm going to do. I ain't going to do nothing else. I'm not going to sweep. I'm not going to do no laundry. I'm not going to mop. I'm not going to wipe down the counters. I'm not going to take the trash out. All I'm going to do is clean the dishes. And you can't say I ain't help you, bro. I clean the dishes. Y'all would say that wasn't right. But when it comes to black parents, y'all think this is okay just because it's what you heard. But at the end of the day, y'all know it's not right for you to do the bare minimum and act like you're saving somebody's life knowing that you're not, knowing you could do a lot more to help this person. And I know that black people aren't the only ones who do things like this, but to me, it seems like other people have more balance. Like with other groups of people, it seems like it's more like 30-70 or 40-60. But when it comes to black people, man, it's like 80 to 90% of us who think that this is how it's supposed to go. And like I said earlier, some people only believe this because it's just what they seen and what they heard their whole damn life. Then other people, they have the sense to know that this is not right and this is not how things are supposed to go. But they don't want to see the next person do better than them, so they'll still pretend like this makes sense.
We are the only race of people that make our kids responsible for our shortcomings in life. We're the only people that make our kids responsible for our shortcomings in life because we didn't financially make the right decision in our past. We make our children responsible. So we force our children to pay bills if they live with us, and if they don't help us pay bills, we kick them out. That's manipulation. A lot of y'all are going through this with your parents. That's not love. That's survival. So they go to show you your true connection and how your parents truly feel about you. As my child, you can come home whenever you want to. I'm never going to charge my child a place to stay because that's my child. I chose to have you. You didn't ask to be here. And most of our people just continuously force our children to pay bills. Hell, we won't have for your check. That is manipulation. If I want to help, if I'm helping you, how could I help you by taking from you? If you're constantly trying to save, but I'm constantly forcing you to give me half of what you're saving, how am I actually helping you? Think now, these are your parents that's doing this to you, but that's supposed to be love. That's conditioned. Because they were taught that from their parents. And that's why people believe, oh, well, you're supposed to help your parents. What? As the parent, I'm supposed to be already financially stable to take care of these children. That's why it's important to have your finances together before you have kids. So we are taught in the community, which is manipulation and narcissistic as hell, that if you stay with your parents, you're supposed to get them half of your check. No wonder why kids never really get far in life in our community, because we constantly helping out our parents who didn't take full responsibility of their finances early on in their childhood.
For example, I see so many parents who will make their kids pay rent knowing the kid can't afford it. Then they'll say, well, I'm letting you stay here, and what I'm charging is less than what you will be paying for rent, so you should be grateful. And niggas heard this type of stuff so much, they think it makes sense, but this is BS. That's not what you do when you really want to help somebody. Once again, that's like if you seen the whole damn house was dirty and you said, I'm only going to do the dishes. I'm not going to take the trash out. I'm not going to sweep or nothing. Then you sit there and watch your roommate clean the whole damn house by themselves. And you say, well, you can't say I didn't help you. I did do the dishes. Y'all would say that that's not right because it's not right. But when it comes to black parents, people want to act slow as if they don't do this type of BS all the time. Y'all want to gaslight the kid and make them think that they're just being weak or something like that, or saying you just expecting your parents to come and solve all your problems, but you don't expect nobody to solve all your problems. If this is your kid and you know you didn't prepare them for the real world, then why do you think your job is just done at 18 just because everybody else says this? No, you didn't do what you needed to do. Now you got to work overtime. It's not about solving all of their problems, but how does giving them the bare minimum help them when you know that they would be on their feet a lot sooner if you did more for them? But you don't, just because that's either how you were raised or because that's what you've seen, then you turn around and tell your kids to do better as you sit here and let the cycle continue. Please let me know how this type of stuff makes sense. But this is what niggas do, a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense. Another example is niggas talk about how you supposed to make it out the hood and all of this, but then they talk trash about all of the people who don't live in the hood. Or let's say you used to live in the hood, they'll talk trash about you because you don't live in the hood no more. Or let's say you never lived in the hood, they'll talk trash about you because you never lived in the hood. But then the people who live in the hood, they tell them that their whole goal is supposed to be to get out of the hood. And as soon as they get out the hood, now they less of a real nigga, or they lose their black card, or however you want to put it, and they want to make it seem like being in the hood makes you more of a real person, or more strong, or have more hustle, or any of these things that we know just isn't true. But this is how they do it, bro. Everything that's negative, they try to make it seem positive. Everything that's positive, they try to make it seem negative. But I feel like I said enough on this one, so y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Your boy, yo.